Hi guys, welcome back to Tracy's Local Learnings. So we have not been having the greatest weather, I tell you. We had 2 days of sunshine and now it's going to rain again today. Prior to that, we were getting buckets and buckets of rain. It's knocked down a lot of my plants. So my garden isn't looking great, but I am going to show you guys what it looks like so far. So I've had a little bit of devastating results on my garden. In my first tour, I was telling you guys how I stick the hose down and find the holes and I flood them out. Well, I did up by my blueberries and my grapes, but I didn't do the round garden and I didn't do my main garden. And I was watching my plants grow and they were looking great, and then they just kind of stopped and nothing was happening. They weren't getting any bigger, they weren't changing, and then a lot of stuff started to turn yellow. So upon doing a little bit of research, I found out that a lot of the roots of my plants were getting eaten. So my garden is stunted and then eaten. So I'm not expecting great results this year, but I'm still plugging along. I think I've rectified the problem with the roots getting eaten, again by using the hose and flooding out all the tunnels. It's really time consuming and frustrating, but I want to show you guys the garden, my main garden. I haven't planted much, and like I said, some of the things I planted aren't really doing too much. So please leave in the comments below if you guys are having any problems with rodents eating your roots. It's the first time this has happened. But then I actually thought about it. So I didn't plant potatoes this year because last year I didn't get any potatoes. The plants grew, they looked beautiful, they flowered, they wilted. I went to dig them up and there was nothing there. And I'm thinking it's because of the rodents in the ground. And we have a ton of moles, I think it is. They leave these dirt piles. Excuse me. So it's just before 6 a.m. I just finished up with the chickens and dogs. And I thought I would get this done before the rain comes. So please be patient with my camera work. It's just me and my phone. I'm going to start it by showing you some of the mole holes around here because they are popping up everywhere. And yeah, the holes that I'm flooding out are quite big, so I'm thinking it's not really mice, it's moles. Okay, so here we go. I hope you enjoy. All right. Now, you see that? These oops, I'm covering my, hang on here. Covering my, oh. All right, I'm trying not to spill my coffee. So see what I'm saying? All these piles of dirt, these are from moles. And this is out on my lawn, okay, where the dirt is much thicker, or more dense, I should say. All right. So, I don't know if you guys remember what my garden looked like, but here's what it looked like now. So, I've got some beans, some basil I'm trying to start, some bergamot or bee balm. The raspberries are looking good. I still need to cut off some of the old stalks on them. Haven't quite gotten there yet. My oregano is doing great. Now over here I planted my purple cabbage. There's some beans in the middle and some beets. Down here I have some lemon balm. My rhubarb is doing okay. I've harvested quite a bit off of it. So yeah, it's doing all right. I want to remind you guys in the summer months to put out water, but make sure you have a stick in it so that the bees don't drown. And what else? So I bought some zucchini starts, and like I said, they are not doing great. Same thing with my acorn squash. My echinacea is doing great though. Look at all the cows this morning. It's such an overcast day. I'm sure my filming is going to look horrible. So my peppers are not doing good. This is one of the areas that I found a lot of the roots getting eaten off my plants. The lettuce is slowly starting to come. What else? Back over here. So, you know, you guys remember my garden. It's really hard to weed when everything you're looking at is a medicinal. So, I try to leave some of it just because it's beautiful. And then in here, I've got my borage taken off everywhere. I don't know if you guys grow borage, but it is a wonderful plant. And I will be doing a video on borage and all of its many benefits. I got some beans in here that are coming up nicely. My tomato is not a happy camper. I've got some purple kale, some parsley. Like I said, a lot of this I had to flood out. It had the holes underneath. And you know, you can tell by how uneven all the soil is. I just wasn't paying attention. So this kale is still flowering. I just want it to turn to seed. I've got some beautiful lamb's quarters here. A nice patch of it that I've hung on to. What else is in here? My sage is doing great. My California poppy is coming out like strong. Another one that I'll be doing a video on is the California poppy. Here I have another tomato and my strawberries. So this was one of the garden beds that made me start trying to figure out what was going on, because these strawberries are like exactly like they were months ago. So, and when, like I said, when I got digging around in there, it was full of holes and the roots mostly were gone. But I've added in some gravel in the holes before I put my plants back in. So I'm hoping that will take care of it. And then some pumpkins and some basil. So originally my garden kind of went to the end of these boxes. And then my son said he wanted some space for some plants, so he's planted some bok choy and a bunch of romaine and some zucchini and yeah, and some dill and a bell pepper. So we'll see when this gets going. And again, you know, I just can't dig out all these. So this is evening primrose and yarrow, and the pink is the sweet William down there. So in a couple of weeks, if we get some sunshine, all of these will start to bloom, all these beautiful plants. I'm not sure if you guys can even see it. I will have to do another video when the sun is out shining. And this, you know, I don't even really remove the dead stalks from last year because it gives it some support. These get quite tall and we get a lot of wind coming off the field. So those extra sticks just give it some support. But like I said, and hopefully we'll get some sunshine. I even really like how the grass is growing in there. It's just so pretty. And my lupin's still doing great. So yeah, this is what the garden is looking like. Oh, and look at this. I have some new fungus growing over here. Do you see that orange stuff? It's pretty neat. So I've kind of given it a comfortable spot in the garden so it can continue to get into the mycelium can get into that stump. Now this apple tree is doing wonderfully. and the other one has died. So again, when I stuck the hose in here, there was big empty holes in the bottom. But yeah, she's kaput, I think. We are going to try to pull it out and stick it in the ground because it was doing good, and then I don't know, something happened and it just up and died on me. So we'll have to see how that goes. Let me grab my coffee. Okay, so I want to show you guys a couple. Like, look at the blueberry or the blackberries coming here. Do you guys see all those? And this wisteria tree is coming along very nicely. You guys see all these tons and tons of blackberries. So with the blackberries, I prune them back kind of every 2 years, kind of, because otherwise they get a little bit, they get messy and I can't keep up with them. But I'm going to have a beautiful harvest of blackberries this year. You know, I've been planting stuff around the property, and one of the things I've always done is I use the blackberries and raspberries and stuff where I don't want people coming onto my property. So it's like a security system. And then down here I have clovers. They love to grow throughout here. That's another great medicinal I will be doing a video on. And the blackberries. Look at that. They are so pretty. And we are going to get so many blackberries this year. Okay. Now I wanted to show you guys. See this planter? It's doing okay. It's already had a couple of different blooms. Oh, and I'm trying out this electroculture this year. I've made several different antennas in different places. So if anybody here is into the electroculture, please let me know in the comments down below. And here's one of my planters. My roses are coming, like, I've already harvested them, I think 3 times now, and they are still coming like crazy. So I kind of splotched some white paint onto these to see how it would look onto the perimeter of this planter, and I like it, so I think I'm going to paint those out white. One of the reasons is people sometimes park here, and I don't want them to run onto my plants. Hi! Hi! How's doing? How's doing? Hi guys, good morning. How's my boys? Huh? Good morning. Yeah, so here I have some borage that's coming. I think I have some miner's lettuce down there. My roses, my hostas. And then back here, I have a bunch of different plants that I haven't planted before. This tall one here, I've actually wild harvested and planted back here, and I put it on a couple different locations in my garden, so we'll see how that goes. And again, over here, I'm not getting any action. It was kind of coming up and the ground cover was taking over, and because we have had no sunshine, like I said, we had 2 days, nothing's growing, guys. I don't know if you guys are experiencing that. Yeah, it's just all just sitting there dormant, waiting for the sun to come out. But it still looks beautiful, I think. So yeah, other than the horrible, devastating, I'm pretty sure it's the moles that are eating my roots. I got to do some research and figure out how to combat it, you know, like I said, I put the gravel in the holes, but there's got to be more that I can do. Maybe I'll find some plants that moles don't like or something and get them out here. My hummingbirds have been absolutely insane. I've had so many hummingbirds on the property, which is a blessing. And what else? Even the raspberries, guys, they were all coming and starting to flower, and then everything just went dormant. So I'm really hoping that I can get a reasonable amount out of my garden this year. We like the peppers. I don't get the peppers, like I don't harvest them till late August, September sometimes. So we all have different growing schedules, I would say. And this year, I don't know, with the weather, I'm not really sure. Oh, and then electroculture. This is another antenna I made. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, so I've taken this very large pole, wrapped it all the way up, and then made a bit of an antenna at the top. So we're gonna see. I would really love to know if you guys are using electroculture or if you have any experience with it. And look at the California poppy. It's such a wonderful medicinal. It's so good for pain. It's good for insomnia and so much more. So this is it. This is all I've gotten done. I still have to put these boards up. But this is what it looks like. Really struggling with the garden this year. Now, you guys can probably notice that I'm not one to be all perfect. I use whatever wood I can find. It doesn't have to be matchy-matchy. I don't plant my stuff in a matchy-matchy way. The only things I really contain together are the cabbage. I like to have them in one section. And the rhubarb I like to have in one section. Everything else is just kind of, it grows where it grows. And hopefully it grows. Yeah, I don't know. Feeling kind of a little bit bummed about the garden. Now the borage, I have been up planting so many borage. It was everywhere. Oh, would you look at this? So here I have the blue borage, but look at, I've got a white one. That's pretty. I didn't realize that they came white. So see in the center, it's a white in the middle of the blue star. What a wonderful, wonderful plant. The flowers are delicious. They taste like cucumber. And I'm going to take you guys up here. Even though it's a big mess, I'm going to show you. So I don't have too much going on here. Like, you know, everything, everywhere I go, everything's just kind of stunted. It's not really wanting to, it's not really wanting to grow, which is not a good thing. But the grapes. Oh, and as for the lawn, we've had a bit of a bumming situation, a bummer. Our Ride-'em lawnmower has broken. Our push lawnmower has broken. Our pressure washer has broken. So the lawns are getting kind of crazy again. But that's okay. This little grape is doing so wonderfully. But look at this one. Do you guys remember it was tall, but it wasn't that tall? Now look at it. I have to do research on how to prune it or tie it or something. And my elderberry is coming into flower and looking quite nice. I'm going to have to keep the birds off that so they don't eat them. Now over here, this is another place where I think the moles were getting. My calla lily's dead. Now I'm not sure if it's because the sorrel is so close to it. Again, I have a problem weeding because it's medicinal, it's edible. The goji berry hasn't really grown much. I'm not really sure what to think until we get some sunshine. And I have more electroculture going here. Yeah, I have it going there and there. So my black-eyed Susan are doing great. My eucalyptus isn't really doing good. Now, I planted some in the ground and left some in the pot because I'm not sure if I can overwinter it. The hibiscus, like I said, it needs sunshine. It's just, it's been so gloomy here and excessive amounts of rain. And then over here, I have more goldenrod, and then I have my pearly everlasting. I think I have, pardon me, a couple of sunflowers popping up in there, but most of my sunflower seeds got eaten. Excuse me. Now, do you guys remember over here where the goats were? I wasn't sure if anything would grow. Can you guys believe what you're seeing? So I would feed my scraps from the garden to the goats. And now I have got, see the chamomile? I've got chamomile. Look at popping up everywhere over here. Chamomile and stinging nettle and just so much. Like it's hard to see. Hello, good morning, darling. Yeah, there's so much coming up over here. And then I went over here and I planted my horseradish over here. Got a bunch of stinging nettle. Hello, ladies. How you doing? Oh, my lantern fell over. Hi. How you doing? Trying to get some of the, green to grow here. So I put down some of this orange, I don't know what it is, mesh or something. And they just stick their heads right through. So I don't know how to get grass to grow in the chicken coop area because they just eat everything so quickly. So it's kind of funny because I had planted a lot of stuff along this edge of this fence and nothing grew, but everything's growing at the same time. I'm not sure if I'm just going to run the lawnmower over this area. Maybe I'll harvest some of the chamomile first and just mow it down because it's hard to walk through here. I'm like, oh, don't step on the chamomile. Yeah, look at those beautiful maple trees. Let me see how big they are. This whole, all maples, these. All right, so what else? My peas are doing much better. I did plant a couple more seeds in there and they seem to be taking. The first round, the birds really took a lot of my seeds, so I didn't get a lot from the first round, but they're coming along. So yeah, I have to figure out what to do with this massive grape. I'm not sure. I guess I got to do more research because I'm worried that it's going to run into my elderberry. So I'm not sure if I snap those off or if I tie them up. But do you see all the grapes in there? Whoops. You see them all? They're everywhere. There's just grapes, grapes, and more grapes. So hopefully we'll get a really nice harvest from this year. I did get some grapes last year, but not that much. And the blueberries. My blueberries look like they're doing all right. I do need to get over here and weed, though. Like, look at all those berries. So, I'm not sure. Usually this is the first one to turn purple from the grapes, and then this one, and then this one. This one's loaded as well. So this particular variety on the end, I don't know the name of it, but it gets really, really big berries. This one gets really tiny berries, and this one gets medium-sized berries. So it's a nice combination. And what else? This is all blooming. Some of my ivy hasn't come back along here. But I haven't really been doing any watering because it's been raining. And that's about it. That's the wisteria tree. It's really filled in this year. And that's it. So that's my little garden update. At least it looks like a garden now, right, guys? I'm still doing some work on it and plugging along. Whenever I get new materials, whether it be bricks or wood, I add to this a little bit. But I like how I've separated the raspberries so I can plant stuff along here. When it was open, it was kind of unruly. And might I say, effing buttercups. This property is so abundant with the buttercups, and my goodness, the roots are hard to pull. They're just impossible, actually. So I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed the content. Let me know in the comments if you have any recommendations on moles or on how to deal with the grapes. Thanks for coming by my channel. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.